What's up, you guys? We're back with episode 7 of the DISHIN podcast. We had the 59-50 day that we just did with New Era. We went over playoff round 2, NHL playoffs round 2.
And a new brand that we're launching too called Color Bubbles. Check this thing out. This thing is insane. We're going to have bubbles that we're launching on our own. We're also going to have smoke bubbles too, and also wraps that you can throw on existing bubbles. New brand coming for you guys. Stay tuned. We get into that and a lot more on episode 7.
Let's get into it. Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of the DISHIN podcast. This is episode 7 now.
Let's go. Happy 7.
Happy 7. So before we even really get into it, I want to give a quick shout out to the man behind all of the editing between the clips and this podcast, Tony Silva. Woo! Our intern, who's been with us for a year now, is graduating from Niagara University. I want to take a moment and just thank you, Tony, for all the hard work you've done with us this past year. You've grown immensely. Like I can't. It's hard to even put into words how honestly happy I am for him. He's really come in here and learned a lot, grew a lot, and I'm really excited to see kind of where his future is or ends up. Whether that's continuing with us or moving on to bigger and better things. So, Tony, thank you. We appreciate you.
Yeah, well said, dude. Tony started with us, probably a year and a half ago?
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, so Tony is the definition of someone who shot his shot and just like created a position and a role for himself that didn't exist before. He reached out to us on Twitter originally, and he was just kind of like, hey, like, I really love what you guys are doing and would love to be a part of it in any way. So yeah, he had reached out to us, didn't really have any sort of idea in mind of what he wanted to do, but I think that was one of the coolest things is he came in, he vibed with the team really well right away and fit right in. And I think he I would say he knew his role like right off the bat, and he kind of put his head down and went right to work right away. And yeah, I echo everything you said. I'm extremely proud of him too, and it's pretty crazy to think that he's graduating school and has some really cool things in the works that maybe we can't talk about right now, but maybe we can soon in the future. That it'll be cool to see how it progresses.
Yeah. Again, Tony, congratulations. If you guys are watching any of these podcasts, listening to them, watching the clips, Tony's the man behind all that. So he is the one that is really bringing you guys the edits, the clips, everything. So seriously, thank you, Tony. Round of applause for Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
Let's go.
Appreciate
you.
Got
Derek clapping in the back too. But yeah, we got a lot to go over today. We had 59-50 day this week. Let's kind of get into that a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about it. Last episode we talked about the hat that I'm wearing. That was our show and tell piece. But yeah, let's talk about drop day a little bit.
Yeah.
Or maybe even we can go a little before that about the shoot or however.
Yeah, let's talk about the shoot. Yeah, the shoot. So, I mean, the New Era project, we've been working on this for, I would say, probably 3 months now, and been working with DJ and his entire team over there. So it's been a really cool project for us to be involved with. Our first project with New Era, we got to go in there to the design lab and design the hat front to back, everything from the logo to the embroidery, the stitch count, the coloring, everything, the underbrim. Everything that came with that. So really cool project to be a part of, start to finish. And yeah, the shoot, I would say, came together pretty last minute, and it was something that we had tossed around some ideas initially right away. And Adam was kind of the one that said, let's do it on this day. We went to the studio and we all made it happen. So what was it like from your experience?
I mean, and just to give people some context too, like he texted the group chat saying how he wanted to shoot the hats, and it was at like 11 o'clock at night. And we were like, okay, what time you want to do this? He's like, let's do this at like 10:30, 11 o'clock, like the next day. So we had to wrangle up some of the boys. So we had a couple of guys from the shop there. And it came together like pretty quickly. Like Adam had a few concepts in mind. He said it really wasn't going to take long. And I mean, the shoot was only usually when we do like shoots like that, it's like a 3-4 hour thing. And it was only about an hour and a half. So
yeah,
Adam did a really good job just kind of planning that out, and the content turned out great. Made our jobs and our lives very easy, just between like all the traveling that I've been having to do the last month, and just with everything you have going on, just prepping for the New Era collab and some other things we have coming up and everybody else's schedule. So it was fun. It's nice kind of being on the other side of things too, not having to always worry about being behind the camera. It was kind of different, like, and fun being in front of the camera too a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Legacy House team, man. I can't say enough about that. Like, I walked into the studio and everything was like all set up and ready to go. All I had to do was bring the stuff, which is cool. Like, Adam had this really cool like mirror. I don't even know what you even call it, like mirror display where you like wrote on it with a Sharpie and wrote the release date and everything. So that was sick. And we made a hype video based off that. And then from there, Adam had this video in mind of what he wanted to do, like a Brady Bunch style theme. So he literally like sketched out the design on a piece of paper, on a notebook. Tony got all the BTS of all this, which would be really cool to show too. And then he just opened up Premiere and like made like 9 different brackets and did like a quick sketch of how he wanted it to look, and sure enough brought it to life, and it was all really quick. So
yesterday was the drop day. We said on the last episode too, we had a lot of you guys reach out asking us to hold hats for everyone. Super limited drop for us. Like, it was very hard for us to even like hold stuff for ourselves. But yeah, I think it was like 60 hats, and they sold out in about an hour and a half of the drop. So yeah, I guess like walk me through like your day, because you had some family come into town too, which was pretty nice. Millie, I think this was Millie's like first in-person drop too, which is pretty sick.
Yep.
So that was cool for Millie, I'm sure.
Millie had the custom pink New Era bucket hat, so that was pretty sick. But yeah, shout out Alexis for like getting her ready for all of that. That's no simple task.
The fit was crazy.
Yeah, they both had nice complementary New Era fits, so that was cool. And yeah, I mean that for me is like always the coolest thing is like I love these events because it's an opportunity for us to get like all of our family and friends involved in one place, and to do it at New Era. Just sometimes I think to myself, like, it's kind of crazy that New Era is located in Buffalo. Just I think I put them on the same level as Nike and the Jordan brand too, but really cool experience for us to be a part of that from start to finish. And yeah, I have some key takeaways from the event that we can touch on a little bit, but I think that's always the coolest thing for me is just having everybody there and all in one place, like celebrating another milestone event for us.
Yeah, for sure. And like that collab alone was just a kind of a long time coming. I remember we talked about it a bit on last episode, but we had met with DJ like over a year ago, just kind of shooting some ideas around. Like, I remember he invited you over there and you had me come with you, and just he was kind of showing us how collaborations work with them, and it's just very interesting to kind of see like what really goes into a collaboration with a brand like that and a company like that. I remember there was a point in the day where like we had a lot of people like show up that we didn't even know supporting the brand, which was pretty sick. But there was I saw you signing a couple hats,
dude. I've never signed a hat before.
What was that?
Man. I didn't know.
That was sick.
I didn't even know where to sign the hat. I didn't know if you wanted me to sign it on the brim. I didn't know if you wanted me to sign it inside the hat. So I ended up signing it inside the hat, signed my name, and then threw the smiley guy in there too. And then you also signed a hat.
Yeah, that was. I signed Chase's hat. He's like, I need all y'all boys to sign it. I'm like, bro, I don't know if I want to devalue the hat. He's like, no, I need all y'all to sign this. I'm like, all right, we'll run it. So, that was cool. But yeah, first New Era piece.
Let's go, bro.
Fun. Let's go.
That was sick, man. I love it. The coolest thing, one of the coolest things was like seeing everybody wear the hat. We had people come in like buying the hat that we didn't even know. People that maybe just like see the logo and think it's cool, maybe don't know like the meaning behind it, but I think that's what's dope is like maybe you purchase something and then you're interested in the story behind it or what it means or what the brand is. So that was really cool. And talking to Ben at the counter after the drop, he was like, it was crazy to think that he said that it was one of the best selling hats they've had in a while and like the quickest it's ever gone. And I think that speaks to our team. I think it speaks to our fans, our following, our customers, everybody that's loyal to our group, that's able to come out to an event like this and show support for us, but also a local business like New Era too, and a collaborative effort that we're like a project like this where we're making a hat. And I'm sure we'll talk about this a little bit more, but this is not a one and done with us with New Era. This is going to be the start of something big, and something big to come this fall, and a lot more to come too.
Yeah, and like for people who aren't super like familiar kind of like with this work in this industry, like 60 hats like might not seem like a lot until, or like any SKU for that matter, like any piece of merch, whether that's a t-shirt, hat, sticker packs, whatever it may be. 60 is a lot of product to move. 60 again might not seem like a lot, but that's a lot. That's still a lot to move, because you got to think about it from a business perspective. If you're, if you're starting a brand or whatever, with a couple friends, maybe, you're printing some like logos on a shirt, whatever. You buy 60 shirts and like you only have maybe 10 people that buy them. You're sitting on 50 pieces of just stock, Yeah. So we've come from a spot where, we were doing pop-ups at, Riverworks and other hockey tournaments and things like that, hockey rinks, where we were only selling, a couple items, and now to, go to a drop or go to New Era, drop those hats and they fly like that is just pretty cool. And even like with the Hawk stuff too, I don't mean to keep bringing that up, but like even that was special too. So, more to come this year. Super exciting times for us. We have a lot in the works. And boys have been moving. Like we had a crazy week.
Yeah. And speaking to your point a little bit there too. So with a fitted, there's multiple SKUs, there's multiple sizes. So I think we had 10 or 12 different sizes that we dropped alone yesterday. And maybe that may seem small, even if it's like 3 or 5 sizes per, but you have to find a head size for each one of those hats. So 60 of those hats to move those. We moved them. I think they were sold out in only a couple hours. So yeah, again, really dope event. We got to meet some cool people there. Obviously saw Dion. He signed a frame for us, a picture in a frame that was really cool. And I wrote a message on there that was pretty meaningful to us, and got to meet Ian McKay from the Bandits. He bought a hat. Was showing some support there. They're on a bit of a run right now too. Yeah, again, just the random people buying it was so cool. Dude,
I forgot. Yeah, Dion had dropped a hat there, did a meet and greet too. So it was cool. I feel like we haven't seen him in a little bit, so it was nice to kind of catch up with him. And you and I got to go upstairs to like that little like after party lunch that they had for all the New Era employees, and got to sit, chat with Dion a little bit more and just kind of catch up. And it was good, dude. I feel like we used to talk to Dion a lot more, and now I feel like he's just like he's so busy now. Like obviously it's off season, so he's usually down, doing his thing in the off season. But
Dion's busy, but he's always there for us. He always makes time, and if we ever need anything, it's nice to know that we can reach out to him, and he would have our back 100%. So
for sure. But yeah, I guess 5950 day. Thank you to everybody that came out. Super dope experience for us, and yeah.
More to come, too. Yeah, we touched on it a little bit. We're going to have a big release with them in the fall. It'll be 10 or 12 different hats, different styles, different colors, different style hats like A-frame, 940s. We're going to have some beanies in the mix, too, maybe some accessories, definitely some apparel as well. So more to come between DISHIN and New Era. Look for it this fall, and can't wait for that.
Yeah, so kind of moving on. We were asked to touch on it for a brief moment, so I don't want to get a little ahead of myself because we do have some things for the show and tell segment. But I guess we can kind of include this in here. If you guys are watching on YouTube on the wide shot, we won our first championship for our men's league team, Bronze A at Harbor Center. So I'm sure we're probably going to get chirped in the comments for mentioning this, but the boys on the team wanted us to bring the have the trophy on the pod. So it was fun.
Yeah.
Fun first year in Bronze A.
A lot of fun, man. We have a fun team, the Burners, man. It's a great group of guys, and a few of us play roller together too on the DISHIN roller team. So, again, a great group, a lot of fun, and my first men's league championship. Probably the same for you too.
I think this is my second.
Oh, you're second. Nice. You won Rombar?
I won Rombar. Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Where's that trophy?
Probably at the Rombar office, I would say.
We should get that here.
I don't know. We should try and find that. I think it's actually a plaque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go. Well, Tony, maybe you can make a clip out of this. We got some cool photos from when we won the Burners championship. So, yeah. Shout out to the Burners, man.
Yep.
Let's go. Got to run it back now.
Yeah, we do. We new season coming up in like another 2 weeks here, but speaking of hockey, playoff hockey, round one's over. When we're into round two. Round one was pretty crazy. I did a lot of travel for round one. I was kind of back and forth to Boston. I went to Nashville a little bit, got to experience that. Dude, Game 7 of the Bruins Leafs series was incredible.
Yeah.
And to be in Boston, too, for them to score in overtime like that.
Yeah. I know, dude. What was that like being there? I texted you. I was like, I can feel the energy through the TV, dude. Because I just think back of me and my dad, when the Penguins were nasty a few years ago, we would go like take little trips to Pittsburgh and like go experience those playoff games. But dude, it's just different, especially at Game 7 in Boston, 2 original 6 teams. You can feel that energy through the TV, and I could feel it, and that's why I texted you.
Oh yeah, dude. Like I was talking to like a few people, like fans from Boston, and they were just so nervous for that game because of what happened last year with Florida. They went to Game 7 and lost, and I thought it was just so great for the city for them to advance, and especially in overtime too. Like you couldn't have scripted that any better. Like and they've got such a fun team to watch there. Obviously, it kind of sucks for Toronto, but it is what it is type thing. The energy was I can't even. It's hard to describe. It was just so loud in that building, and
yeah,
sure.
that's sick. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool watching it from my perspective too. We get Hockey Night in Canada at my house. Maybe it's just because we're so close to the border, but yeah, channel 16. It's like the smallest channel on my TV. It's like half the size, and the audio is everything is so pixelated. The audio is really clear though. So I will like sacrifice watching Leafs games on a really small channel just to hear the broadcast because I love it so much. I grew up at home also watching Hockey Night in Canada too, so I love that. I will miss Leafs games. I was bummed they got bounced, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. That's hockey.
Tough. Yeah, I mean, they got a good squad though. I mean, dude, you've got guys, there who had an unreal season. Matthews, I mean, 69 goals. Like, come on, like that's how can you not appreciate that? Whether you're a Leafs fan or a Leafs hater, like you gotta appreciate greatness in some capacity. And not to get a little off topic too, but like the roast of Tom Brady too, like that was hilarious. But I think that's a conversation for another day. But I mean, to kind of like move on with playoff hockey too. I don't know if you saw this. I don't know if I was talking to you about this or maybe somebody else, but the Rangers are 7-0 right now.
Yeah,
7-0.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's crazy.
Honestly, they're gonna sweep the Hurricanes, and even if they don't, they're probably gonna beat them in 5. But yeah, they're on a roll right now, on an absolute heater, and they're fun to watch. They're probably my favorite team to watch right now in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, the game yesterday too. What was it? Yeah, yesterday Panarin scored in overtime, which was like a fluke goal. I think it was just a tip.
Dude, that was a nasty goal. He like tipped it like between his legs almost. Yeah.
What a bad bounce though for Carolina.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, I know.
If I'm Carolina, I'm like, what? Like, why was I like? Why am I not blocking that?
Yeah.
Or why am I not?
Let us know. Was that a good goal or was that a fluky goal? I think maybe any overtime goal is almost like seems fluky because I don't know, only one team's gonna finish it, but yeah. We'll see.
Round 2. I'm excited. Rangers are looking pretty nasty. The Florida Bruins series too. I hate to like keep bringing up like the Bruins and just like teams on the East Coast, but man, that game 2 was insane. You had Pasternak and Tkachuk going at it.
Yeah.
Like that was insane.
Yeah.
Like
I'm glad you brought this up too. Did you see on the bench when Tkachuk called him out and he was like looking at him like this and he's like Pasta, and then Pasta turns around to his coach and he goes, "Coach, he wants me to go with him," and Montgomery goes, "Who?" And he like leaned in, he's like, and the next thing you know, they're just over the board swinging at each other. Tkachuk got him when he was down, and then Pasta jumped on him and tried to finish him off a little bit, but that was funny to see. I was watching that game. And I could see that go down, and I was like, "Damn, they are about to scrap."
Dude, it was awesome. I think it's so great for hockey too that you have 2-star players like that who just care so much. Like that's playoff hockey right there. Like that. Like obviously, there's a new age in hockey now where fighting's not as like accepted, or they're trying to just kind of get rid of it. But dude, stakes are high. Like you got to fire your team up. Like Boston was down 2 at that point. Like. What do you have to lose? Okay, like let's take the L in game 2, move on to game 3. We'll go back to Boston and clean it up from there. But dude, like again, so great for the sport for those two to go at it. It just goes to show that like just because you're a star player, like doesn't mean you can't step up in those moments and fire the boys up. I mean, Tkachuk probably did not have to do that, but he is the type of guy that is going to go out there and do those types of things. And I think that's what makes him so great is because he's a skillful guy. He's dependable, but he'll also go out there, throw the body around, and throw some punches.
Yeah, for sure. No, he's the type of guy you want on your team. There's a little bit of a rumbling right now that Brady Tkachuk could be on the move, so I would love to see him in Buffalo. That'd be insane.
That would be sick. He's a feisty little, well, not little, but he's a feisty guy on the ice, and I like that. We could use a little bit more of that here, just in general. I mean, I like him as a player.
For sure, yeah. I want to give a shout out to the Panthers, man, because they are really a team that I admire. Definitely in the playoffs, but overall, like NHL regular season, as far as like their social team and everything that they're doing graphic wise, and even with their retail store too. Like, there's a kid that I follow. I might be saying his name wrong, but it's Chris Kritikos. I think he's one of their graphic designers, and he makes these game day graphics that are sick. Like they're like it's like a bear and a panther like facing off, and they do them for different series, different games and stuff. I'd love to get some prints of those. It's really dope to see like this graphic artist movement really take over within sports. Mm-hmm. They're really setting the scene and doing this artistry work that is really second to none, and gives you kind of more of a rivalry type feel of two teams that maybe you wouldn't feel in that same type of way that you would do when you see the graphic, until you see the graphic. But really cool to see the Panthers, man. They've definitely had some fits too. Like they always showcase what guys are wearing to the rink and whatnot, and they just dropped the rat chain, which is like
saw that
is a chain accessory they did there, so that was cool. And probably one of my favorite teams to follow right now. They're doing a lot of cool things.
And speaking of the graphics too, BR Open Ice does a sick job with graphics. I love like just tapping into like their socials on Instagram and Twitter and just seeing like, you know, whether if it's after a series or after a certain game, what they're posting and just like how associated with culture they are, and like kind of bringing like something that's like not in hockey and bringing it to hockey. Like it kind of reminds me a little bit of like what we do here, and it's super cool to see. Like I like that. So
yeah, a lot of crossover between what we do with BR, and Evan's done a great job over there with his team, and they've grown really fast. Yeah, you know, NHL, the TNT broadcast is just, it's unmatched. There's no better panel, I think, than that group. And maybe we'll see. I don't know. Maybe Berube will get taken off that panel and be the next Leafs coach.
Yeah, and kind of even talking a little bit more about playoffs too. We've talked about it last episode. I feel like we're starting to talk a little bit more about it on every episode now. But playoff fits. Anything you saw in the last couple weeks since our last episode that kind of stood out to you?
The Panthers, I've been following them. They regularly post what guys are wearing to the rink. Marshy's a guy that's always bringing it. But yeah, speaking on that a little bit too, I'll touch on this briefly and I'll let you touch on some fits that you've seen. But we just picked up a new account on IG called Style NHL. So we're going to be running that. It's basically going to be a very similar account to League Fits, where we're going to be posting, you know, different outfits and whatnot that guys are wearing to the rink. We're going to highlight some different fit breakdowns on there too. But we're going to post on there pretty consistently. I would say 2, 3, maybe 4 times a day, just so everybody can kind of see what different guys are wearing to the rink. And we're going to, you know, highlight the suits and whatnot until guys are, you know, non-mandated with the dress code and can get to really wear what they want. And I think we'll be on the forefront of that when that day comes.
Yeah. And even speaking on the fits too, you brought up Marshy. Again, I keep bringing up the Bruins, but they're just a group I've been following pretty closely. But Pasta had such a sick suit on going into Game 7 against the Leafs. He's always got something cool he's wearing. Shesterkin on the Rangers too. He's always someone that comes in looking pretty fly. But yeah, the Style NHL page should be pretty cool
for sure.
But yeah, kind of moving on here too. Show and tell time.
Whoop.
Yeah, I feel like this has become at least our one of our favorite.
Yeah. All right, welcome in DISHIN Show and Tell. This week on episode 7 of DISHIN Show and Tell, we're launching a new brand. It's going to be called Colored Bubbles. So this is just one bubble that we want to show on display here. So this is insane. I mean, the tint is crazy. I kind of want to throw it on just so people can see.
Did you want me to put it on and you can kind of like talk a little bit about it?
Throw it on,
because you could probably speak a little bit more on this than I could. But dude, oh my god. This is insane.
I love launching new brands. That's like one of my favorite things. Like the Skate Skins brand, when we launched that back in 2020, was like one of, I think, the highlights of like my personal career of like being in business and entrepreneurship, just because it was something that solved a problem within hockey. There was no customization at the time. And for us to be able to create a product from scratch that had all these unique features, like made to fit all make and model skates, it's removable and it's fully customizable, was something that was really sick and something that we've been able to do within hockey that has our own footprint on the ice. So, I mean, for this, you look like a superhero.
Dude, the hang on this is insane.
Yeah.
I don't know how the audio sounds on here, but the hang is insane, dude.
But yeah, colored bubbles. We're gonna tease this a little bit right now. We'll probably launch it sometime this summer. So it'll be this chrome bubble. This will be available for retail. We also have a stealth model available, and these are gonna be bubbles that you can purchase as bubbles as they are. Also, we're gonna have wraps available for current bubbles. So if you want to tint your bubble a different color, blue, green, red, purple, yellow, pink, we have every color imaginable. Again, this is going to be something we're launching as a new brand under the DISHIN umbrella. Follow us on IG if you want to check it out, showcase what you think so far, and follow along for the journey too. It's at Colored Bubbles Official. So really excited about this and what the feedback's going to be. It's really similar to what we're seeing with Oakley. We've seen a little bit of the pink visors kind of make their way into hockey with concussions and whatnot, and we saw Nylander and Marner, some different guys in the Leafs wear blue tinted Oakley visors. So I think there's opportunity for this within hockey to have more creativity. Obviously, we see more guys like Bedard and different guys around the NHL that are starting to wear bubbles within hockey. So maybe this could be a cool way to implement more style and flair into hockey in that way.
Yeah, I don't know how the audio is gonna sound here. We're good. So I kind of like this too. Like if we're playing, if you're on like an ODR or something, like I know Minnesota does a lot of pond hockey tournaments. Like this would be sick to wear in pond hockey, because I remember like when we would go to Binghamton and we play in the pond hockey tournaments, it was so. Sometimes I want to wear sunglasses because it was too sunny out. So like this is a nice little feature, and you can't see my eyes, so you don't know if I'm going boom, boom, boom. You don't know where I'm going. I might be toe drag. You don't know.
Lady's horrible.
You don't know where I'm going. You don't know if I'm looking at Maddie. I might be looking at Derek. I'm gonna pass the puck to Matt. I'm gonna be looking at Matt. Be like, like you don't know. You just can't see my eyes. But these are sick, dude. I'm excited to keep testing these out, and I might take this off just because I don't know how.
Yeah, let me throw it on. I'll speak a little bit on it too.
Here, why don't you hold it too?
So this is a cool product. It has anti-fog features on it. Obviously, the chrome too is all hand painted and everything. It's a really quality material, scratch resistant. I don't even know what you would even call that, but it has like a film layer on top of it. So I mean, it's cool stuff. We molded it right after. However we wanted to make it, so it's really sick. I'm gonna throw it on.
Yeah, you throw it on. Maybe talk a little bit about it too. So tell me what you see in there. I mean, it's definitely like a little dark inside there.
Well, I have
for on it, though. Oh, that's yeah. That's right. I didn't notice that. But yeah, no, they're super sick, dude. Like, I remember like when Ovi was wearing like the mirror tinted visor, like that was sick. I actually have a poster of him at my house, of him wearing one, and he's like doing a fucking sick crossover, and he's got like the laces hanging down. He's got the yellow laces with the flop too, like so dirty. And this like bring style back to hockey. Yeah. Like this is sick.
What are we doing? Why do we got to do this? Why can't anybody else do it? Anybody else want to do cool creative shit? Why's it always got to be us?
Dude. But yeah, so yeah, like Matt was saying too, we're gonna be testing these out a little bit throughout the summertime. We had a couple buddies of ours test them out in roller hockey too, which surprisingly, like when we played with Tony's team, like his buddy that wore it, like I don't think he got chirped once. Like no one said anything to him, which was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm looking at you and I can't even like see your eyes right now. Like
I'm actually looking at Derek, not you.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't know where the puck's going. Like, you don't know where Matt's gonna pass the puck or who's gonna dish it to. Like, for all you know, like he could be passing the mic off to Derek, and Derek might swap in and do like a little drop pass or like a little weave.
Yeah.
You ever do the weave drill in practice? I used to love doing the weave drill.
Out the weave
drop
drill.
Passes.
Always.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey. Cross in front too, so you're not going. Well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, cross in front, pick up the puck in front of like. In front, so you're not going off sides.
No drop passes in the weave drill.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah. Sometimes you could, but like that, guys that get their heads down, and like if you're wearing that, like I don't know if your head's down or what, but
this does have some crazy hang on here too.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, so Color Bubbles, check it out. We're launching this brand this summer. Again, a brand that we're launching to bring more creativity, more style to hockey. It's going to be really similar to the Skate Skins model. Something that solves a problem within hockey. There's no sort of customization with bubbles, anything like that right now. And as we're starting to see more guys in the NHL wear the bubbles in gameplay, it gives us an opportunity to do that.
But yeah, I feel like that's kind of, I think we're in pretty good shape here.
Yeah.
I think we covered pretty much everything on the list today. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to touch on. You want to finish out the pod with that bubble on too?
I think I have to.
I feel like, you kind of,
Shout out to New Era, man. We had that collab was really down. Big stuff coming with New Era this fall. We have a fall release coming with New Era. We're going to have 10 or 12 different hat styles and colorways, along with different accessories and merchandise too. So stay tuned for that. And I wanted to say again, thank you to New Era. 5950 Day was a huge success. Shout out to DJ, Kirsty, Ben, Tom, everybody involved in New Era, start to finish, who made it extremely easy for us to be there and show up and bring all our friends and family. And it was a really cool event to be a part of. Excited for more to come with them.
Yeah, again, thank you everybody that came out, everybody that supported along the way. We had a lot of OG guys who have, gotten things from the drops over the years, who came and supported, who left work, who may have left also school to come to the drop and make sure that they got a hat. So thank you guys for coming out. Also, thank all you guys for listening too. Thank you for tuning into the clips, and appreciate the feedback. I mean, this has been fun for us. This is kind of a way, our schedule has been pretty busy for this whole year basically. So it's nice to kind of get in here and just chop it up and kind of reflect on a little bit more of kind of what we have going on here and what we're working on. So again, thank you guys for the support. And I just want to give one last shout out to Tony. Congratulations, brother. You, like I said in the beginning, you've come such a long way. We are so stoked for you and your future. And man, this podcast would not be where it is today, I think, without Tony. So Tony, crushing the clips, crushing the edits. Let's keep that motor in. Let's stay humble, though. And, yeah, dude, congratulations. Enjoy it.
Thanks again, Tony. Appreciate you, man. Episode 7.
Episode 7. See ya.